This week from GNC Week in Review, powered by GeekNewsCentral.com. The Pixel 6 has problems. Boost Mobile introduces their Carrier Crusher plan. And guess who else doesn't like the removal of the YouTube dislike button? Those are some of the tech news stories from this week, and it's Friday, November 19th, 2021. My name is Kirk Corliss.
And I'm Scott Ertz.
And this episode 98 of the GNC Week in Review podcast, proud partner of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. We are live on gncweekly.com/live. So please be sure to say hello in chat or comment. Also be sure to like and subscribe to the GNC WIR channel on YouTube. If you missed the live video, that's okay. You can always catch the replay later. If you are a listener, please be sure to subscribe to podcasts where you can find in the right-hand side column at gncweekly.com, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. If you have a comment on social, be it on social media or email, and those links can be found at gncweekly.com/connect. So a little bit of a late start, trying to gather up the news of the week. A little bit of technical issues earlier, so we are back. We are a little about half hour late, so that was partly my fault.
But we're back on Friday.
We're back on Fridays. Yay! Yeah, we're back on Fridays. Knock on wood. And we're
hopefully particle board is good enough.
There you go. It's good. It's fine with me.
Oh, that's real. This is real wood.
Oh, right.
This is 100-year-old barn wood. This is all real wood.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're back on Fridays, and we are 2 episodes away from episode 100. I'm a happy puppy about that.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. So I'm happy about that. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. CES is on track. Knock on wood. Oh, wait. I can't hear you. There you go. Thank you. I can't.
I got your back.
Cool. So and gonna be a new logo, new intro video, getting a new webcam, a new mic, cross my fingers. So new mixer, cross my fingers. So everything is looking good so far. So
speaking of new mics, this is not part of our news, and it's not a paid advertisement. It's just something I'm super excited about. The second generation of the King Bee right here came out this week.
Live. Nice.
Very excited. I can't wait to get my hands on the new one and see how it varies from this one. And just like the first generation one, they have managed to keep the price down. When this thing premiered, it premiered at $350. And after Skipper bought the company back, they were selling them for $169, and the new one is $169 as well.
Nice.
What a great move! And they're manufactured by Turtle Beach.
Don't.
I mean, designed by Skipper Wise, the creator of Blue, and manufactured by Turtle Beach.
Is it the same? Is it the wax company? Or I'm thinking of something else.
Turtle Wax?
Okay, sorry.
No, not Turtle Wax.
Okay.
Turtle Beach.
Right,
Turtle Beach is a gaming company. They've been making gaming headphones for years and years.
Okay.
And they purchased Neat literally during CES this year. They put out the press release that they had acquired Neat, which was super exciting. Because that's a great partnership. And the idea that Skipper Wise is basically now in charge of microphones for Turtle Beach.
Nice. Okay.
It's a great partnership, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the first real product. They have another one called the Skyline, which is a USB mic. Don't care. It's like a for your morning calls, But the King B2, ooh, super excited about it.
All right. Well, I'm definitely leaning towards that, and I'm familiar
it's
with
all black now, which makes me sad. It doesn't
have
have the cool black and yellow stripes like this one has, which you can't see here. It's way cooler When you can see the whole thing like that. But the new ones are all black, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna miss the black and yellow stripes, but we do what we do.
Yeah, we gotta lose something to gain something. So
Sure.
yeah. Que sera. Okay, all right. Let's dive into news for this week. First up, there have been people like me have purchased Google Pixel 6 and Google Pixel Pro. Google Pixel Pros. Spit it out. They're been posting on Google support forums that the phones has a slow charge with plugging in a 30-watt charger. Google has responded to these allegations that the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro don't charge as fast as some had expected, confirming that their charging speeds are a deliberate trade-off for better battery life. And also reporting from Android Authority, which found that the phone's maximum power draw was around 22 watts, well short of the 30 watt that Google's latest USB-C charging brick is technically capable of. Writing in a community support post, a spokesperson for Google confirmed that the maximum power draw of the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro are 21 watt and 23 watt respectively when used with its 30 watt USB charging brick. They added that charging speeds also decrease as the phone's batteries fill up to preserve longevity. In their post, they note that these figures are the inevitable results of battery trade-offs. The spokesperson is saying, quote, a battery can be designed for high energy density or for fast charging power capability, which requires trading off capacity to minimize battery degradation, unquote. Although the Google support documents never explicitly state the charging speeds in new phones, their compatibility with Google's 30-watt charging bricks, which is sold separately, was taken by many to mean that the real-world maximum charging speeds would approach the 30-watt level and would be far faster than the 18-watt charging supported by the Pixel 5. But in reality, Android Authority reporting that finding that the actual power draw of both phones peaks at 22 watt and average around 13 watt over the course of a full cycle. The effect of this is that the phones charge far slower than I expect, with Android Authority finding the Pixel 6 Pro takes almost 2 hours to reach a full charge. That's 49 minutes slower than Samsung's Galaxy S21 Ultra, which has a similar size battery, but is only advertised with 25 watt fast charging speeds. In fact, Google's power draw is so conservative that its 30 watt charger only fully charged a Pixel 6 Pro 10 minutes faster than its old 18 watt charger. Google never claimed Google also never claimed that the phone's charge at 30 watt. Instead, it advertised the amount of time it takes to get from 0 to 50 and 80% when charged using a 30 watt charger, 30 minutes, and around an hour respectively. This is in line with Android Authority found in its tests. In addition to the slow charging speeds, there have been problems with the fingerprint scanner.
Good.
And to be honest, I haven't had problems with it. But apparently there has been problems.
Yeah, it seems to be hit or miss with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they quietly rolled out a Pixel 6 update that addresses fingerprint scanner issues. Is being reported by XDA developers. The update details have been confirmed in the post on a Google support page, which vaguely notes that includes, quote, minor bug fixes and some fingerprint sensor performance improvements for Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, without getting any more details about how the sensor was improved. Google says the update, which consists of 2 software builds, one for Verizon Pacific devices and one for international models, has been rolling out and will continue, quote, will continue over the next week. I haven't any problems with the fingerprint. The charger, though, I didn't buy the charger separately. I just have a regular charger, and it's been fine.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, right? We don't see a lot of the companies talk about their charging speeds, right? They're charging wattage. You don't see them advertising based on wattage. You usually see advertising based on charge speed. And in particular, the 50 and 80% marks are what you traditionally see advertised. I remember like the Microsoft Band, which is years old at this point. They talked about how fast it would charge to the 50% mark because it charges differently in order to preserve the battery. And it sounds like that's what Google's done here.
Mhm.
That the goal was to make it easier to charge it, to get it to a place where you could walk away, right?
Mhm.
50% is a place where most people are comfortable walking away. You can get there quickly, but the rest of it's going to slow down because it's trying to preserve at least some of the physical battery, some of the chemical makeup, so that you don't end up killing your battery quick.
Mhm. But I know also too a lot of the battery. I guess were in Samsung's case years back with Battery Gate. Their batteries explode, so they're really like being really careful. A lot of companies being really careful on on their battery, how many hours it'll last. Because for me, with my Pixel 6 Pro, I last about 5 hours before a charge, 6, which isn't too bad. I'm out, yeah, something like that. But
Wait, you only get 6 hours of use out of it?
roughly, yeah, roughly,
Oof. Okay.
yeah, roughly. Yeah, I
Like
use
6
it.
hours of continuous use? Like if you were to, what kind of use
Um,
are we talking? Are you like
I would, I would say
talkie-talkie?
no,
Or are you
no.
using the internet? What are you?
I think maybe I use it at for primarily for video and streaming music
Okay.
mostly. I would say more music than video, and occasionally I would go on different apps, but by around 2 o'clock, that's about roughly around 2 o'clock. That's when I'm at 20% roughly.
Okay. And you have the Pro, right?
I have the Pro. Yep.
Okay. I'm just looking to find the Tom's Guide battery results on it, since I know how that one works, since I built it. Uh, uh, hmm. They say the word battery a lot. Okay. Tom's Guide is saying 749. So it should get 8 hours of screen on web browsing.
Mhm.
I was just curious if what you were getting was normal or abnormal.
Well, it is normal because when I had my Pixel 3A XL, it was about the same, about 5 hours, 5 6 hours.
Okay.
And the same thing, I was using occasionally majority music, a little bit of video, a couple apps. That's it.
Okay.
So that's average for me.
Okay. Yeah, the Tom's Guide, for those who aren't familiar, the Tom's Guide battery test has nothing open except the test, which browses the internet automatically to a set of predetermined pages. 2 of them autoplay video, and 10 of them don't, and they're representations of an old Tom's Guide site, the Yahoo site, so that every phone browses exactly the same way. And they do it over Wi-Fi, with the cellular data turned on but not in use. And that's the way they test their thing.
Okay.
So it's a very specific set of tests.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
sounds like you're pretty well right in there, because
Yeah.
obviously you're taxing it more than we do in the test.
Yeah, and I think that over the past few years, usually for me, I mean, because there's some people that are really hardcore, but also that they'll go longer. Supposedly, there's some I've been hearing some people that lasted longer than 6 to 7, which is like how they're doing that is beyond how they're doing that is like it's fascinating how they're able to get that
Magic.
right.
They're not actually using
Yeah.
it. They're just
Right.
looking at it off. They don't know. They don't realize that this, just looking at it with the screen off, doesn't actually do anything.
Right. Right. Yeah, but I mean, but as far as like over the years, though, phones have come a long way, and the one thing that's been the key driver is the battery.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Samsung, they with that battery gate, and they've been like making sure that going forward from then to now, they're making sure their batteries are operable for one, don't explode.
They completely changed manufacturers, suppliers for
absolutely.
their batteries after that.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed the whole charging circuit inside the phone. They were hoping that the battery was the problem after the first one. It wasn't, it turned out, but they didn't go back to it. They didn't go back to the same company just to make sure.
But also too, again, not just Samsung, but iPhone. There are a lot of people questioning their battery life and their expansion. I mean, that's been the talk. That's been a talk of the past couple of years.
Yeah,
about battery life and how and how important it is. And I remember
the iPhone battery life is terrible. Everything battery life for everything Apple is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the phone and the watch and the laptop. None of them because I want them. But all of them, the battery life is just terrible. My Surface Duo, the first gen, lasts about twice what the iPhone lasts. And it's my go-to device most of the time is the Duo.
Okay.
And it still lasts longer than the iPhone that's not doing anything. So yeah. How they're so dominant is beyond me.
Yeah. I agreed. Yeah. So and also too, it's interesting that this has been out for about it's a good thing this phone's been out for about maybe a month, maybe a little over a month, and right on top of it, fixing what needed to be fixed versus waiting until how many months and people want to return them, say this is garbage and what have you. So like I said, I haven't had any problems.
You mean waiting months like the first generation Surface Duo still doesn't have Android 11.
Exactly, right. For example, if you guys are watching, if you're watching live right now, with the there hasn't been any problems with me. With the fingerprint. It's been fine with me. So, but I guess apparently, people reported that a lot of people are having problems with the fingerprint scanner and complaining, and also the charger. So at least there's things that are in the works. All right, next up, Boost Mobile has revealed its first carrier crusher plan, and God help me, that's a poor name for a plan. Which
I think they're trying to be T-Mobile of old. The John Legere T-Mobile, where he came in and he's like, "We're the uncarrier," and he starts kicking things over and shows up to the AT&T after party at CES in his pink T-Mobile shirt.
And I love those claymation ads. Oh, they were funny. Oh, they were hilarious.
I think Dish is trying to treat Boost Mobile, which they acquired as part of the T-Mobile Sprint sale. Dish acquired Boost from Sprint. This is their uncarrier.
And I gotta be honest, and this is for those who are watching, listening on the inside secrets or inside workings of this podcast. When I'm doing the intro, and I kind of tailor it on different, like on with Scott, in his intro, a little bit. It's not, I don't copy it, but I try to like incorporate a little bit of that wit. And I was trying to do an intro on it, and I was like, I couldn't do it, and I was like trying to like think about like Boost Mobile is like crushing the competition or something like that. I was like trying to put the.
That's where I went right away.
Yep. So that's what I was thinking, but I was trying to tie it in. So for those who want to know, like the inner workings, the secrets of the.
A little inside baseball,
right?
If we had somebody who did like a really good like surfer voice. They could have said Boost Mobile's really crushing it.
Right.
but you have to do that in like a surfer voice.
Right.
If you don't, the joke is lost because it's all about the voice.
Exactly. So
in the old days of F5 Live, we had a couple of really good impressionists.
Mhm.
And so we used to be able to pull off jokes like that. Now I have to write different ones that work with my voice because I don't do voices.
Yeah,
So
I don't either.
it's this. I am H. John Benjamin. This is my voice.
Right.
You will like it.
Yep.
I don't do accents. I don't do voices.
Yep.
I don't do impressions.
Right.
This is me.
Mhm.
Archer and Bob from Bob's Burgers are the exact same voice because H. John Benjamin is who he is.
Mhm.
Here's
Yep.
some information.
Woo!
Whoop.
My watch just showed me a picture of him.
So hopefully nothing else got set off as well either.
I definitely got it right.
Good.
But yeah, that would have been fun, but only if we had the surfer voice. The idea that so they're making changes here, right?
Yes, they're making changes.
So the Carrier Crusher plans are a new name
Yep.
on a new network.
Right, under AT&T.
They're no longer going to be on the Sprint T-Mobile network.
They're on the they're on the AT&T network. And their main again, this is like the most weirdest name on the planet. The main Carrier Crusher product is a $100 annual plan designed for customers use less than 10 gigs of data a month. It costs $100 a year. And it'll give customers access to unlimited talk and text, as well as 1 gig of high-speed data. The Dish-owned prepaid mobile carrier cited a couple studies in the announcement, including one that found that 45% of Americans are paying for unlimited data, even though 1 in 3 use less than 5 gig. Steven Sokol, CEO of Boost Mobile, says, quote, "The U.S. market is set up for the carriers to provide a high price point to all Americans today. It's great for the 15% of users who consume over 10 gigs of data per month, but the rest of us, we are subsidizing the bill for those users. Who wouldn't pay $70 for all-you-can-eat buffet if you want a salad? So why are we forced to choose all-you-can-eat and wireless?" End quote. In addition to the $100 plan, Boost has also launched a Carrier Crusher product with unlimited talk and text plus 15 gigs of data. It costs $20 a month, but customer bill will be billed annually. For those who prefer paying monthly, it now offers a $25 and a $15 plan with unlimited talk and text, as well as 5 gig and 2 gig of data, respectively. So Boost is coming right out of the gate with with this plan. I mean, for $100, that's a great deal. But
it really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
This is going to be the developer's best friend.
Mhm.
This is going to be every mobile developer's go-to.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to want this plan.
Mhm.
Because if you can have your development phone run on cellular
Mhm.
for $8 a month,
Mhm.
I mean, yes, you're going to use it on Wi-Fi for development most of the time.
Right.
But when you need to test, well, what happens when you're on cellular? What happens with this? What happens with low data speeds?
Mhm.
You can do all of that on this, which I think is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
It's also going to be really, really good for older users.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which Boost Mobile was not our go-to in the old days.
No, it was Virgin Mobile.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And I'm checking to see if they even. Oh, it's not that. It's VirginMobileUSA.com.
Yep.
Which takes you to Boost Mobile. Virgin Mobile USA is dead. Okay. So this is absolutely aimed at the old Virgin Mobile USA customers, which is brilliant.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned earlier, on a month or two ago, I had my mom on Virgin Mobile, and she loved it. I mean, it was great and didn't cost that much. And if I were to get her a smartphone, I don't think she would want me to get one, but
So don't For
Yeah.
$8.33 a month, get her a flip phone.
She has one.
I would say get a flip phone, get one
Yeah.
of the little credit card phones.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about all the smartphone stuff. And for $8.33 a month, that's less than what Virgin Mobile customers were paying when I was at Radio Shack a decade ago. They were paying worked out to about $11 a month. This is less.
Yeah.
This is great. There are people this is for. It's not you and I.
Right. No, it's
but
not.
there are people that this is for. Although the $20 a month one instead of the $8 a month for 15 gigs of data per month for $20.
Yeah.
That's also a great deal. And it's on the AT&T network.
Right.
So it's fairly solid.
Yep.
I mean, that's what my Duo is on. Is on AT&T. I haven't had any problems with it.
Yeah, this
is and it's got mobile hotspot.
Yep.
For that $20 one.
Yep.
Oh, it's got it for all of them.
Yep.
You're gonna blow that gig real quick.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking about getting maybe a separate line for me. So maybe I
the only one that doesn't.
Right.
the only one that doesn't have the mobile hotspot is the unlimited data one.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm probably gonna go with something like that, maybe for a third line or something, or a separate line. Just keep it on the side, maybe something to think about.
Michelle's been thinking about having a line that she can use just for like plug hits stuff that she can stay signed into our Snapchat and our Instagram, and because not everything allows you to be signed in to two things. Snapchat's a great example. You can be signed into one, and only one can be signed in.
Right.
Snapchat is not designed for companies for sure. But yeah, she's wanted to have like a good phone with a small amount of data that when we're out and about, she can use just for plug hit stuff.
Right.
$8 a month is a great way in.
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier, I've got a project coming up that was going to require a phone number for $8 a month.
Can't beat it.
I can't get a landline for $8.33 a month.
No. No. In this day and age, no, you can't get one.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about this. I've got like 3 reasons why having one of these for myself is not a bad idea.
Yeah, me as well, because if I were to use it for stuff, something to think about. Definitely check it out. We'll have a link up in the show notes that you can do more looking at it at your leisure. All right, up next on last week's episode, we covered the news that YouTube is removing the dislike button on its videos and also the pros and cons behind it.
In fairness, it's not hiding the button, just the count.
Just the count. Sorry, the count. Sorry. Well, YouTube co-founder Jawed Karim doesn't agree with the platform decision to hide a public dislike button from videos. He said so by changing the description of me at the zoo, which was the first video posted to YouTube back in April 2005. The short video has more than 200 million views and shows Karim talking about elephants. The new description says the ability, quote, the ability to easily and quickly identify bad content is an essential feature of a user-generated content platform. Why? Because not all user-generated content is good. It can't be. In fact, most of it is not good, and that's okay.
True. All of that's true. I agree with everything he just said.
Right. The description, which is several paragraphs long, also warns of a possible decline in YouTube's quality because of the decision. Right. He says, does YouTube, quote, does YouTube want to become a place where everything is mediocre because nothing can be great? Because nothing can be great if nothing is bad. YouTube said in a blog post, quote, we heard during an experiment that some of you have used the public dislike count to help decide whether or not to watch a video. We know that you might not agree with this decision, but we believe this is the right thing to do for a platform. We want to create an inclusive and respectful environment where creators have the opportunity to succeed and feel safe to express themselves. And Karim couldn't be reached for comment. So
I agree with the co-founder,
Mm-hmm.
and I disagree with YouTube. I understand
Same.
there's two things that YouTube is doing here. One, they are responding to dislike bombs,
Mm-hmm.
which I understand. This is the wrong way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Any flood of dislikes should just be flagged and then dealt with later. Oh, look, all of a sudden, this video that was doing okay has gotten 10,000 dislikes in the last hour. Something's wrong. I get emails when a video pops, give me the exact same thing, use the same thing, but for dislikes, right? Do the same thing for a dislike bomb, hold everything back and say, whoa, maybe something's wrong. And then when the process changes, if the process doesn't change, right? If you're constantly getting dislikes, then it's probably legit.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens for like a 12-hour period and then whoop, the dislikes stop, and now you're back to what you were before, that is somebody gaming the system.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing they're trying to do is what I have always referred to as the blue ribbon generation, which is my generation. Everybody's given a trophy. Hooray! Everybody, you're all doing great.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And that's what he's saying. No, you're not. Not everybody's doing great. Most people aren't. And to be able to find the stuff that is great is hard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mediocre and terrible stuff out there. Not everybody is G4. I'm sorry.
Right.
I have always looked up to G4. I would like to be G4. I'm not. I know that. Not everybody is them.
Reach for those stars.
and I mention them specifically because I'm looking at them on a screen just outside of the studio. Because they came back on Tuesday. I don't know if that's in our rundown or not, but they came back on Tuesday. No, very excited about that. As a streaming only platform. So they're setting a bar that a lot of people should be aspiring to hit. Not, don't worry about it, you're doing fine. Because you're not. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's doing fine.
Yeah. Well, with me, because when I watch YouTube videos, I do like videos, but also it's very rare that I would comment on one of them. Mm-hmm. But I know, but if I play a YouTube video on whatever topic or subject matter, if I watch about maybe like a minute, 2 minutes in, I'm skipping and going to the next one. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that maybe, do you think also too, how because a lot of content creators do look at that as well. They look at, they look at not necessarily the likes and dislikes,
but this isn't going away.
Right.
For you and me as content creators, we still see these numbers. Mm-hmm. And the dislikes are still going to affect the algorithm.
True.
So everything YouTube is saying here basically is a lie. Mm-hmm. Because we want to make it an inclusive place.
It's a boilerplate boilerplate.
Because you and I still see it. Mm-hmm. I can still use it to harass somebody. Mm-hmm. And a dislike bomb is still going to work because it's still going to degrade you in the rankings. Mm-hmm. Enough of them, it's going to knock you out of search and recommended.
Right.
So none of this is true. Mm-hmm. Or they don't know how their own system works. I don't know which it is. Yeah, because it can't be. It absolutely can't be. We're trying not to hurt the content creators' feelings because we still see it.
Right. That's why I think that's why they're putting out that statement, because they're putting a boilerplate statement, basically trying to appease everyone. But you can't please everyone.
Right.
You can't please everyone. And for me personally,
and it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. With our podcast and or with Geek News Central and Plugits Live and what have you, I mean, there's people watching, which is fantastic. They want to give comments. That's fantastic as well. But I think that, I always say that with us, with this podcast and TPN as a whole, we put out content that isn't that people that I mean, if I was, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I may be biased, but I mean, I remember when I first watched the coverage initially. I was intrigued. I was fascinated by it because there's things that I've never seen before, and that got me interested into watching more videos like this, and I subscribed to like a whole boatload of channels, but I enjoy the content. And, but I think that there's some people that don't, there are some people that don't, but I think that they're all concerned about one sole thing, and that kind of hurts them in some way.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
And I'll just point out that I still see the dislike count.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
But does it
This
really?
was supposed to go into effect like 13 days ago.
Right.
I'm still seeing dislike counts on other people's videos.
Okay. Yeah. But is it really? But here's the thing: does it concern you more about removing it, or does it concern you having those removing the count, or does it bother you either way? Because me personally, it doesn't.
Show me a percentage as a viewer,
Mhm.
not as a content creator, because
Right.
content creators, what we see isn't going to change.
Right. Right.
Only for you as a viewer does it change. So, as a viewer, I would like to see how people are thinking. What have people said about this video? Give me a percentage. If you're worried about dislike bombs, if you don't want to show me numbers.
Right.
I was looking at some weird video where people with children's toys, like plushies, were doing a video. I cannot believe it was 18 minutes long.
Oh my God.
I don't have any audio, so I have no idea what was happening, but somebody was helping the Paw Patrol pups do something. That's what the video description said.
Okay.
I don't know, but it was like, and this scares me more than anything. It was like 35,000 likes and 1.2 thousand dislikes. That is a great ratio.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Show me the ratio. I don't need to see the two numbers.
Right.
Give me the ratio. I'm fine with that. Give me a percentage. What percentage is positive?
Right.
96%. Great. That's a good video. But 45%, that's not a good video. Now I have some extra information to make decisions on. I use that all the time. When I'm looking at videos, I look at the up and down numbers to come up with a ratio to figure out, okay, lots of people dislike this video. That's not good. A huge percentage of people are not interested in this video. Maybe it's not on the topic that it says it is. I like that information as a viewer.
Okay.
I don't necessarily need the counts. Give me a traffic light report, right? I don't even need a percentage. Give me a green, yellow, and red. I'm fine with that too.
Okay.
Right?
Like
Give
that,
me some sort of a way to figure out, based on what the viewers said, the content quality.
That's for me. The flip side for me, I look at the comments. When I watch a video, I look at the comments first, and but
sometimes I don't get that far.
Okay.
Based on those numbers, sometimes I don't get that far. When I'm looking at the search results, I'm like, ooh, something's wrong with this one. Or you're like, oh, that's a really pretty splash image. The title seems right. This percentage doesn't add up. And so I make the decision, okay, this is probably a dislike bomb. Let's find out.
Okay.
But give me a traffic light report or a gas gauge, right? Something based on the likes. Based on the likes and the dislikes. Give me a traffic light, a traffic light report, or give me a gas gauge, some sort of a where it is, because TubeBuddy uses the gas gauge to do exactly that. Give me something like that. I'm fine with that. I don't need all the numbers. I don't care that it's 100,000 likes and 32,000 dislikes. I don't need that. I just need to know that 21-ish% of people dislike this video. Uh-oh.
I think this is going to be this has been debated on since and they introduced this last year. So something tells me this is going to be ongoing. This is not going to stop. There's going to be people. I will bet money right now that if you do a YouTube search right now for the words dislike or the public or like and dislike, I guarantee you're going to see like a ton of YouTube videos, and you're going to see, and on each video you're going to see like thousands of dislikes on each one. You're checking right now.
Absolutely, I am. Here's a video from PewDiePie. I can't believe I'm clicking on this, and it's now going to be in my YouTube history. I definitely made a mistake here. It's called YouTube removed the dislike button ... 2, which, by the way, doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I don't think he's a native English speaker, so it's fine. 474,000 upvotes, 20,000 down. That's a good ratio.
Right. But just click on the.
Definitely a video of Chris Pratt shirtless. Nope, that's an ad. I don't know what it's an ad for.
But just look at the comments. What does it say on the comments? There's got to be comments on there on that one.
Removing dislikes is the dumbest idea since 2006. Don't you wonder what? I mean, I think that's the year YouTube was founded. Maybe that's what they're going for. Everyone and their cat hates this change. How tone deaf does YouTube have to be to keep it nonetheless? YouTube, we're doing this to protect our creators. Creators, don't do it. Quote, whenever there's a lot of dislikes, it's because it's not good. This is revolutionary. They now have to make a new study and months of experiments to test this out. Dislike doesn't mean the video is just bad. Also is a way for viewers to approve the content and avoid spreading the wrong type of information or ideas. In a way, you can scam people easy now, having no dislike or on-site. It's not a bad comment.
No. That person's got something there.
I think a possible unintended consequence will be an increase in negative comments, which can be much more psychologically damaging than a simple thumbs down. So 2 things. The thumbs down button's not going away, and we'll still see it.
Right.
And 2, absolutely correct. I have never rage quit a video game. I have rage quit moderating our YouTube comments. I once threw a phone across the room.
Holy crap. That's hardcore.
It takes a lot to get me to that point.
Right.
But I don't deal well with sexist type comments, just so people know. And I will tell you, I don't care if it's on Plug Hits Live or it's on GNC Week in Review. Kirk and I haven't talked about this. I'll ban you.
No, I don't.
You are out. It's not a question. It's not an option.
No,
that's the way it's going to work.
No, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely.
And so, we have had sexist content in the past. Lots of sexist comments about one of our hosts in particular. And I have chucked a phone across the room.
Wow. Yeah, that's
never rage quit a video game, which is the place where most people do it. Nope, I rage quit YouTube.
Right. No, I don't blame you. And
based on comments, because yes, they could be much more personal than just a thumbs down.
Right. No, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah. If that happens, if there's a comment on this channel, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely we're banning. It's gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm
all with this comment 200%. Yes.
Oh, without a doubt.
The unintended consequences that people are going to start negative commenting. Yeah.
I mean, as far as because when I guest hosted, for Todd in the beginning, I knew I sucked, and one guy, was real. No, I was bad. I mean, I was I was nervous as hell, and I just was like all over the place. And this one guy just basically, and what I was talking about. I told you about that guy a while back. Okay. And I mean, I took it as constructive criticism, but a little bit, I kind of took it very personally. because I'm new. I'm brand new, guest hosting, let alone, working on the as a EP, for his podcast, and I want to do right and not screw it up. So I took a little bit to heart. I took it very personally because I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Mhm.
But as far as like from then to now, I think that I personally have grown, as a podcaster and as a content creator,
Sure.
and but as far as comments, positive, negative, but if it's to the point where it's that serious, that's sexist, and no, you're absolutely right. That's gone immediately.
Yeah.
We're not gonna tolerate that. Absolutely not.
I've never been so pissed off in my life.
Oh, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I would too.
And it was completely unwarranted.
Mm-hmm. Understandably so. But again, this debate. This is going to be going on. This is not going to stop. It's going to keep. There's going to be more to this, and
especially since they haven't actually implemented it yet.
Right. Right.
Despite the fact it was supposed to go into effect, I don't know, what was it, the 10th?
Something like that.
Or something. Yep. And here we are, it's the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still seeing counts everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. To be continued.
Indeed. Many times, probably.
Right. All right. Up next, Starbucks has teamed up with Amazon to open a cashierless store in New York City. The new location at 59th Street between Park and Lexington Avenue will combine the Starbucks app's order ahead feature with Amazon Just Walk Out technology. It has a lounge area customers can enter by using the in-store code in the Amazon shopping app, by scanning their credit cards, or by scanning the Palm register with Amazon One on the terminals on site.
No.
Right. We talked about that. We had covered that before. Once they're in, they'll find a small Amazon Go market containing a curated selection of customer favorites from both companies. Anything they take off from the shelf will be added to the virtual carts, and they'll be charged after they leave, in like any other location that uses Amazon's Just Walk Out tech. Starbucks and Amazon are planning to open 3 joint stores in the coming year, including this one. The second location is planned for the New York Times building, located at 40th Street and 8th Avenue. And for now, New Yorkers can head to the first location at 59th Street to check out the concept. This is a great store, but I'm not doing the palm breeding.
Yeah, no. I still will recommend everybody not give their biometric data to Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
But the cashierless store, I mean, this is inevitable.
Yep.
We're going to see more and more of this. Increased in velocity by the current worker issue. We're going to see as many companies as can do it automate away low value add positions. Cashiers are low value add positions today, right? That they're not a salesperson. They're a cashier. So the only thing they add is coins to your pocket. If you're paying cash, and nobody wants coins in their pocket, so no. they're a zero value add position. So yeah, it makes sense that would be automated away. At some point, you're going to see the baristas themselves automated away. Just like McDonald's has a couple of concept stores where nobody is behind the counter at all. There's nobody in the kitchen. There's nobody at the counter. You order on those touch screens or in the app. Machines make the food, and a robotic arm hands you a bag. We had a guy on at CES this year, 2021, that had that really cool restaurant automation machine.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw it.
I think it was my interview. It was mine or Chris's, and I was producing. I don't remember which, but
I'm trying to think.
I think it was mine. But I mean, there's all of this is coming, and it's coming quick.
Quick. Mhm.
And it's going to be coming quicker. Oh, we're going to do 3 stores in the next year. Well, I bet you're not. I bet you can do a lot more of them, because I bet this prototype works real well. And Starbucks starts getting rid of cashiers nationwide. I bet they do it quick.
And now the self-checkouts also are more prevalent now than ever before.
And way better than the old ones.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The interfaces work better. The old ones were garbage. Like the ones that like Albertsons launched with, and the first generation that Walmart had. Ooh, they were bad. Because they were using the same tech. They were bad. They're so much better now.
Well, I noticed, and I noticed maybe
if we can just walk out, you don't have to go to a self-checkout. It's literally a self-checkout. That's even better.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. And because my whole thing is when I go to a store, and my wife knows this, and I know she's probably watching, because she subscribes to this podcast. So I'm throwing her to the bus. I don't care. But
I'm gonna have to get a bus sound effect on my little soundboard over here.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that. But yeah, so I hate shopping in the store. My whole thing is I want to get in and get out. And a lot of these self-checkouts that have incorporated this technology, I'm not doing a problem, because I know, for example, CVS, where I live, near me in Hamilton, they never had self-checkout ever. And I walked in the store, I went to get a prescription for me, and I'm like, it was like the clouds have parted and the sun's coming down, the sun spikes are coming down. It was a great concept. And just basically go in, scan it, and you're gone. And you can use, you can use Google Pay. I have Google Pay, so it's gotten a lot better for it. So
for sure, yeah. The CVSs around here all have 2 self-checkouts now. It's great.
Yeah, less time, less time to do things.
But if you could avoid even that step, I could walk in, go to the back, get my Tylenol, and just walk out the front door.
Oh, absolutely. Great. Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be a wake up call for some people in California, though, because they've been having all those shoplifting things, because the police aren't allowed to stop a shoplifter anymore in California. Really? And so every day there's new videos of people just walking into stores, grabbing an armful of stuff and just walking out. There's nothing that you can do about it. Can you imagine if they walked in, grabbed a bunch of stuff, walked out the front door, and Amazon just charged them for it?
Right? Imagine, and they're getting their palms on the way out because they have all these cameras all around.
You got your phone in your pocket. Amazon knows who you are when you walk in. You grab an armful of jeans, which was one of the videos I saw this week. An armful of jeans, just walk out the front door. And all of a sudden your phone goes off because Amazon just charged you $400. They're like, thanks for your purchase.
Right?
What?
Come back soon.
Ironically, CVS is closing stores. So is Walgreens in LA County. Is it LA or San Fran? San Fran, I think. They're closing stores because their average shoplifting is like 16 times the national average.
Wow.
Wow. But if they could just charge you when you walk out the door,
right?
Oh God! First time it just auto charges somebody. That is gonna be a wake up call.
And they're gonna like wondering, like, they're coming out and they're like wondering, like they're feeling their pocket, or they have their buzzer on. They're like, what's going on? How much is that?
Their watch comes up and says, "Thanks for the purchase."
Right. Oh my goodness! Maybe
there's a lot of shop owners in California that would be real happy about that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
And stop shoplifting in its tracks.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! All right,
because you can't get in without scanning your phone. You can't get into the store at all. So now we know who you are. We're good. And when you walk out, we're going to charge you.
Yeah, why not?
Wonderful.
Yeah. See, Amazon's smart. They know they know, and they are, and to get that technology in there, yeah, they know.
Yeah. This is somewhere between employee automation and loss prevention.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It's win-win.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, in late October, FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosen-Worcel proposed expanding the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255, to accept text messages via the 988 three-digit dialing code, or akin to 911, to, quote, better support at-risk communities in crisis, including youth and individuals with disabilities. Yesterday, the full four-member board voted in favor of enacting the proposal, which will be effective by July 16, 2022. Yesterday's announcement, stated, quote, today's action requires covered text providers to support text messaging to 988 by routing text messages sent to 988 to the Lifeline's 10-digit number. The rules establish a process that will require covered text providers to support transmitting messages to 988 in additional text messaging formats that the Lifeline is capable of receiving. Until next July rolls around, if you're struggling and you need someone to listen to, we'll have a link up in the show notes, and the number to call is 1-800-273-8255. So that's good news. Good news.
Yeah, that's a great move. It's the first real thing that this chair has done.
Mm-hmm.
The position was vacant
for a while,
until literally like weeks ago.
Right.
So this was her first move as chair, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
Setting herself up for success.
Absolutely. So
if all of her ideas are this good,
mm-hmm.
we got a good chair of the FCC. Now, do I think that we're going to stay this way? No. I've never liked the chair of the FCC. I don't care which side of the aisle they're from.
Mm-hmm.
I have never liked the chair of the FCC. So we'll see if she can change that.
I think so. This is only, she's been on the job for a few months. So, definitely we're going to see more coming from this, and we'll keep an eye on that as well.
It's taking effect quick. It's going to be in effect in July.
Yep.
I mean, for the government, that's quick.
Yeah. But there's always that we don't want to make sure that the shoe doesn't drop from the other side of the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. The second move will be a full scan of everything that goes over the internet for.
Right.
We're going to block this kind of content.
No.
Nope. Let's not do that.
No. Let's not jinx it just yet.
Right. Speaking of people who are happy to scan all of their content,
and Twitter, where there's two new studies from the Pew Research Center on American use of Twitter, finding both a surprising level of trust in that social platform and a partisan divide in views about it. They also suggest Twitter's privacy interfaces need some serious work. The studies released Monday, the behaviors and attitudes of U.S. adults on Twitter and news on Twitter consumed by most users and trusted by many. It's shedding new light on the social platform that continues to draw far more debate than you might expect for a service being only used by 23% of Americans. This is from a Pew study released in May. To start off with, Pew's researchers find that Twitter remains lurker dominated. The top 20% of users by tweet volume post 97% of all tweets, including replies, retweets, and quote retweets. 1/3 of users report visiting Twitter less than once a week, versus 66% visiting at least weekly. Meanwhile, 10% say they couldn't count. 10% say they couldn't count how often they hit the site daily. Most people read Twitter primarily for entertainment. 42% of respondents then for news at 20%. But among the 69% who report getting news on Twitter, 2/3 have, quote, at least some trust in the accuracy of that news. That's a higher score. Excuse me. That's a higher score than social media earned overall in a Pew study released in January, when 59% of Americans getting news that way found it, quote, largely inaccurate. I'm on Twitter for about maybe 10, 15 minutes max. And to be honest with you, I love the man Alante, who's part of Alante has been on Twitter like literally every day. God bless the man. I mean,
really?
Yeah, he's on it. Like,
I'm never on.
I know you're not.
So I have no idea. All of my content is auto-generated.
Yeah. No, I know you're not on it.
It's a fine feed to follow. Definitely follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of interesting stuff.
Mm.
But it's not me.
Right. I mean, I have to give that. I mean, he retweets a lot of things. He tweets about other things. I don't know. I can't recite them off the top of my head, but he's, you know, and I liked his tweets, and in fact I retweeted some of his tweets. But for me personally, I'm on Twitter maybe like, again, 5, 10, 15 minutes. I say follow the news on some things. I follow us. I follow some other podcasts as well, and other content creators. But as far as like news, you know, I look at, like, go to different news sites. I mean, I'm not using Twitter for my main source of news entertainment. I mean, there's some that are really funny. There's some videos that people post are cute and funny, but when it comes to news, you know, I just don't use that as my sole source for it.
I don't use it as a source at all. The fact that they have on multiple occasions, I definitely fall into that 59%. And less because I find it largely inaccurate, but because Facebook and Twitter in particular go out of their way to block real stories because they don't like them. Oh, nope. That's not going to be a place I'm going to spend time.
Right.
Sorry. If I can't trust that the platform itself isn't actually censoring content that is true, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time there. I'm going to post there, but it's going to be automated.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my current take. I don't like when platforms go out of their way to block actual content. For any reason. I don't care the reason. I don't even necessarily care that it's actual content. But you know, whatevs.
Yeah.
To each their own. Social media is not interesting to me. I was just looking at Alante's Twitter feed, though. I assumed I knew his account name. I was right.
Yeah.
Because I do follow him.
Yeah, I do too.
But I don't look at my feed, so there's that.
Okay. Well, like I said, again, I mean, he does post a lot of interesting things, and
a lot of Animal Crossing stuff I was seeing.
Yep. Yeah, and I follow
real into that lately.
Yeah, lots of stuff that I follow. You know, lots of from like my daughter's school.
Interesting.
Her school district. Because I want to keep know what's going on in the district and everything.
Yeah, especially with how weird the last year has been.
Exactly.
School stuff.
Right.
For all kinds of reasons.
Yep. You know, so I mean, there's other things that I follow. I mean, but as far as, like, again, with me, you know, I'm not solely on it. You know, there's some people that are like, and I know one person, you know, that uses this person I know on Facebook. This person's on Facebook. Literally, this is no joke. At like 6 a.m. when I get up to get ready for work, this person's on posting about different things. I'm like, holy moly.
Are you sure you aren't confusing the person and you're talking about Trump?
No, no, it's not. No, it's not Trump.
How in the world that man spent that much time on Twitter? Can you imagine how much more he's getting done just in his daily life with no access to Twitter?
Yeah, right. I don't know what he's, but he is, what he is doing now. I don't know if you saw that he's putting out more statements about anything that's going on with Congress or anything like that.
And then people are taking screenshots of the website and sharing them. A clever workaround.
Right.
But he's not actually writing any of that stuff. It usually sounds like it was written by an English speaker, which he never struck me as.
I just remember just hoping that maybe his account will come back under, say, I'm back.
Oh God.
Insert that. See, this is where you got to insert that music in now. There you go. Yep, that's it.
I got you.
Good.
I forgot about that one.
Yep.
I remember this one.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, we can use that in the first sound effect. All right. Next up, what we're gonna say?
Oh no, nothing. I was laughing.
Oh, okay.
I was laughing at that dude.
All right. Next up, T-Mobile's lead in mid-band 5G has increased. On Monday, the carrier announced that it's reached its 2021 goal of getting 200 million people covered with its faster cellular network, coming in 6 weeks ahead of its previously stated target at the end of this year. The milestone lets T-Mobile tout that its faster version of 5G is now available, quote, nationwide in the U.S. Speaking of the FCC, describes a nationwide cellular network, as one that covers 200 million people. Neville Ray, T-Mobile's president of technology, tells CNET that even though his company is, quote, it's not under the same pressure that AT&T and Verizon are experiencing when it comes to immediately putting that spectrum to use. It is working with industry group CTIA about addressing the concerns about C-band use. Ray adds that he believes, based on, quote, the physics and the merits, that C-band spectrum should work fine for cellular networks without interfering with airlines. Noting that this spectrum is already, quote, being used on a global basis for 5G in, quote, I think something that like 40 countries today without any issues. In addition to reaching the nationwide milestone, T-Mobile said on Monday that 80% of its customers are now within the coverage of expanded mid-band 5G network, which it calls ultra capacity 5G.
Yes, absolutely. And I have noticed that my device that is on Sprintmo,
that's a name.
I've actually got a logo that I made years ago for a merged Sprint and T-Mobile. The purchase was supposed to be the other way, but that's fine. It was the pin drop icon, but it was like fading from yellow to pink. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I've actually noticed that in the last 3 or 4 days, the signal icon on my phone has changed. It no longer just says 5G. It says 5G.
If you're watching live,
UC, stacked like this, next to the 5G in really small letters. There's this little column next to it that says UC. And I went researching to find out what that icon meant because it was a brand new icon. So apparently I'm part of the 200 million.
Nice.
So it's interesting. I did a speed test on it and it was wicked. Like I was getting 88 megabits a second down.
Whoa.
Yeah. And like 6.5 up. Yeah.
Wow. Wait.
That's wicked.
Yeah, really. Absolutely. No doubt.
So, and that's not what I was getting before the little UC icon showed up. I was getting like half of that. So, I mean, this put their speed through the roof with this change. So, I'm stoked.
Yeah. Well, it's good news. I'm good news, T-Mobile. All right. Other news this week. If you ever broke your screen on your iPhone, you had some options to fix it. You could go to Apple and pay them to replace a part, which would cost you a lot of money. You can also choose to go
True.
to more than 5,000 authorized repair providers, or more than 2,800 independent repair providers who have access to Apple's parts, tools, and manuals. Or the other option would be to go to your local mall or alternative repair store. Now, starting next year, Apple is going to offer you a chance to do your own repairs yourself too. There's a new program called Self-Service Repair, which will allow customers to buy parts from Apple for their products and perform repairs at home. Apple said it will also publish repair manuals online and offer tools to buy at the same time, but buy at the same prices authorized repair technicians pay. Jeff Williams, Apple's chief operating officer, said in a statement, quote, "Creating greater access to Apple genuine parts gives our customers even more of a choice of repairs needed." And something tells me, for me, if I had an iPhone, I'm not going to fix it myself.
No, no, certainly not a phone.
No.
But maybe a laptop. Not the current ones, since that's
Right.
all integrated circuit, and all you can do is just replace the entire inside, since everything's soldered.
Right.
But if I were dealing with like my older MacBook that I use for development,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
might do some repairs on that, because it's
Yeah.
just a PC. It's an Intel processor. It's everything that we've all done work on before.
Mhm.
So
But I think you and I are the norm, but I think that a lot of people, I don't think would take their products and do it on their own, because God only
no.
knows what's going to happen. Because if you happen to, one thing breaks and you go and start digging in through it.
Yeah,
You're gonna be-
here's the thing though. It doesn't have to be you and I doing our own repairs.
Mm.
This allows shops that have been doing it unofficially for years
Right.
to get OEM parts now, and to get manuals and support now, so they're not just shooting in the dark.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of benefit here.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be you fixing it yourself. There's a lot of benefit for there's a computer shop down the street that has been doing this kind of thing for years, but Nick used to work for them. But
Okay.
it's totally shooting in the dark. They're
Mhm.
using user-generated tech documents and stuff. If they
Mhm.
can get the actual stuff, the actual documents and OEM parts, everything's going to be better.
Yeah. That's true.
Just a note on 5G UC, I was getting 103 down. I took a screenshot. I had forgotten. I took a screenshot. And where I'm sitting right now in the studio, I have 5G, but not 5G UC, because I'm in some sort of a Faraday cage in the studio. And I just did a speed test while you were reading the top of the Apple story. 9.29 down and 0.77 up.
Oof.
Instead of the 103 and 5.6.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, 5G UC. Oh, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Super happy about it. I'm hoping it'll help us out at CES.
Well, I'm
not gonna lie. If our internet sucks this year like it did in 2020, I have no problem hotspotting from my phone and giving our 100 megabit down speed to the studio.
Well, I'm crossing. Well, hope not just the internet, but also tech issues where when there was a Windows update that that caused havoc in the first, was it day 2 that happened?
I don't know. Computers.
Yeah, gotta love technology.
Windows update. Yeah, it probably would have been day 2. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it probably would have tried to force itself on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Since it's update Tuesday. No, update Thursday. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right. Someday. Well, I have 5G on my phone, but it's in small pockets where my wife and I went out to have breakfast, and I went outside for a couple minutes, and I had a little bit of 5G service. Then I went back down to 4G. So
Oh,
I was not, I was an unhappy puppy. I'm like, yay, I got 5G. And like, oh no, didn't get I only got
yay!
4G.
Oh,
Right. Right. All right. In other news, we talked about this drone with Walgreens in Texas,
Zipline.
the zip line, right?
In Dallas, not Austin. Yes,
Right, Dallas, right. Well, get my towns wrong here.
the city that I would have expected people to shoot him out of the air. Yep.
Right, exactly, right. You got it. Well, Walmart and drone delivery company Zipline are launching a delivery service in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. What a name for a town! See, there's like some unique names in different states, and Pea Ridge is one of them.
Indeed.
This is the first commercial drone delivery service offered by Zipline in the U.S. Customers will be able to choose from, quote, thousands of products, though are restricted to health and wellness items like quote, over-the-counter allergy medicine, bandages, and ibuprofen. Residents in Pea Ridge, Arkansas, I love saying this town, who want to test out the drone delivery service will need to download Zipline's app to do so. The Verge is reporting that they can place an order and pay for their items if they're, quote, eligible, though it's being reported as they are not quite sure what's meant by this term. Zipline told The Verge that access will start with, quote, a hand-selected group of recipients, and that following that launch, quote, Zipline and Walmart will quickly work to expand to additional customers in the broader NWA region, subject to FAA approvals. So, drones are a thing, and they have been a thing, and now they're going to be in Pea Ridge, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine with the concept. There's still going to be privacy concerns that are going to have to be dealt with. I think either the FAA or the FCC is going to, as these things start to launch on broader scales like this, I think the FAA and or the FCC, so many letters, are going to decide to alphabet soup, which makes Google's parent name even more appropriate.
Right.
The whole company is a bit of a soup. Anyway,
right.
Somebody's going to have to get involved here because there are definitely going to be privacy concerns. I don't want one flying over my yard. So how do we not close enough that they'd be able to see into my house, for example? I have a relative expectation of privacy in my backyard.
Absolutely.
From a legal standpoint, we have an expectation of privacy in our backyard.
Right.
Not so much in our front yard necessarily from a legal perspective, but in our backyards, yes. Until there are things flying, 50 feet over our heads.
And that would make sense when they want to shoot him out of the sky. You have one coming down.
You hadn't considered that.
No, it's something that I haven't. You're right.
Yes.
No,
I've considered the possibility of having to shoot him out of the sky myself.
No, I was more thinking of the creep factor when in the backyard. That I agree.
Yeah,
but
there's lots of reasons why somebody would want to knock him out of the air.
Yeah,
and that's for me. That's the big thing. I don't want my back windows. I don't want my backyard. I don't want any of that to be visible to the outside world. I have privacy fences all around my yard.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in anybody flying things over top of me. So
yeah. No, I'm leaning towards that line of thinking. All right. Well,
Zipline told The Verge that access will start with a hand-selected group of recipients if they're eligible. You're eligible. That's almost certainly what it means. They're gonna handpick people depending on where something, location or something.
Yeah, they'll probably have to give
subject to FAA approvals. The FAA is going to get involved in this, and everybody knows it. That's good.
Yep, and they're only going to know who they are, what they're doing. So you want to know about privacy? So they're going to be like, well, you have to agree to this, 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 and this, and this, and this. All right. All right. Well, you may have seen or heard reports that Crypto.com bought the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Now there's another cryptocurrency firm.
In fairness, they bought the naming rights to the Staples Center.
Naming
They
rights,
didn't buy the facility because they wouldn't
Right.
have any use for it.
Right. Sorry. Right. Naming rights. Right. Now there's another cryptocurrency firm who wanted to make a purchase and failed. This was being reported on Wednesday that the group raising money to buy to buy the U.S. Constitution. The group's name, is called the Constitution DAO, and DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and they amassed $40 million through crowdfunding. The document that was being purchased is one of the 13 copies of the official edition of the Constitution. A final draft created for the Continental Congress, is according to Sotheby's. But the documents instead sold to another buyer for $43.2 million at Sotheby's yesterday, in what the auction house said was a record price for a historical document.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
What other historical document would have that value?
Right. The donors will now have all their money returned, according to a statement from the group on Twitter. Published in 1787, there are 13 known copies to have survived from a run of 500 originally printed after the text was settled at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. According to Sotheby's, the copy is one of only two not held in the collection of an institution. The auction house had estimated the copy to be worth $15 million to $20 million. The identity, yeah, right. The identity of the new buyer is not known. Proceeds for the auction will go to the Dorothy Tapper Goldman Foundation, a nonprofit group that works to promote understanding of democracy. So the copy is worth twice what they were asking for.
What they were expecting it to bring in.
Right.
Yeah.
From 20 to $43.2 million.
If there's anything that crypto has taught us, it's that it can overvalue anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, like one company bought the naming rights to the Staples Center. I mean,
yeah, which is going to be weird.
Mm-hmm.
The Crypto.com arena.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's going to be weird. It's been the Staples Center for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
and we've had E3 press conferences at the Staples Center for as long as I can remember. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, yeah.
To have press conferences somewhere different now.
Yeah. And we'll go to someplace more not having the name crypto in its title.
Crypto.com is kind of the only trading platform that doesn't feel sticky to me.
Well, I know that
I use it. That's just in case anybody's curious. That's the one I use. It doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel like, they're going to get hacked and everything's going to be taken. And we have covered over the years lots of crypto platform hacks where everything has gone away. And even with covering all of those hacks, I still feel comfortable there. So if anybody was going to do it, I'm good with this one.
Yeah. Well, for me, I know cryptocurrency is a thing, but I'm not tempted to go down that hole just yet.
Oh, why? Because I lost like $600 yesterday.
That's one reason.
Is that a good reason?
That's one reason. Yeah.
I've recovered 200 of it today.
Well,
yeah, I'm still up over what I invested, so it's okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Took a bath yesterday, though.
Yikes. Well, that's why I'm going to wait and see. All right. In the video streaming news, well, not really, but Hulu launched a new online store called Shop Hulu on Monday. The store includes clothing, hats, posters, coffee mugs, and more merchandise tied to popular shows and service such as Solar Opposites, Grey's Anatomy, American Horror Story, and What We Do in the Shadows. You can peruse the shop selection of limited edition Ugly Holly sweaters, which will go on sale on November 30th. and other holiday themed gifts from your favorite program. In addition, if you purchase one of the special sweaters, Hulu is saying 100% of the proceeds minus shipping and taxes will go to Hunger Relief, nonprofit Feeding America.
Okay.
So good on Hulu. And
I would not mind having stuff from the Orville, which is one of the shows on here.
Yep.
Ooh, they got all kinds of interesting stuff on here for the Orville.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They've got vinyl cut stickers of all the emblems from the uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. What else have they got in here that we didn't mention? A whole category of Golden Girls. It's interesting. Let's see. It is a very small list. I'm going to let you see if you can pick out the one that doesn't match. American Horror Story, Archer, The Good Doctor, The Orville, and the $100,000 Pyramid.
$100,000 Pyramid.
That took an interesting turn there at the end, didn't it? And all it is t-shirts and mugs with the logo on it. There's nothing unique or interesting about that. I am curious what they have for Archer, though. I didn't see that one at first. 62 SKUs.
Holy moly.
$100,000 Pyramid had 4 SKUs. Archer has 62. Merry Drunk, I'm Christmas. Yeah, that's a great wine glass from the show. Shut up, liver. You're fine. All right.
Well, Holy Moly has 57.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's another weird show.
Well, they have the I Miss Uranus white mug.
Oh, you understand that I'm going to clip that audio from the show, and that's going to be my text tone for you. I hope you understand that.
Oh boy.
You've done it to yourself.
Yes,
You're
I
the
did.
one who said it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm going to keep my mouth shut now. Because you're going to probably do another one. And finally, Thanksgiving is coming this Thursday. And, you have the usual meal of Thanksgiving. You have turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, rolls, and so on and so on and so forth. And for dessert,
rolls. I appreciate you saying that. I'm hosting Thanksgiving for the first time this year, and rolls has not been on my list. I'm literally going to add it to my grocery shopping list while you finish this story.
My wife asked me. My wife asked me what kind of rolls we want this year, because every single year when it comes Thanksgiving, I hand to God, rolls is the topic of discussion of what type to get. So
okay. King's Hawaiian. What are we talking about?
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after we get.
It's gotta be. It's King's Hawaiian. I didn't realize there were other brands.
There is. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Obviously, that's a joke. I know there's tons of other brands.
I'll tell
For
you
our
what.
listeners who are going, wait, you didn't know there were brands of rolls other than King's Hawaiian?
Right.
Yes,
So
of course I did.
if you don't know, GNCweekly.com/connect and let us know.
Admonish me.
Right. Okay. So, and for dessert, what better way to finish your meal with a nice slice of pumpkin pie? Well, how about this year, a piece of Reese's Thanksgiving pie? On Monday, a new Reese's Thanksgiving pie was announced with a 9-inch diameter and weighing, this is no joke, 3.4 pounds of chocolate and peanut butter. That is a lot of chocolate and peanut butter. Bo Jones.
Hold on. Is this just a big peanut butter cup?
It's a pie. Wait, let me. Hold on.
Keep going.
Hold on. Let me pull it. I'm pulling like one. Get it. Give me one sec here. For those who are watching live, we're going to show it right now.
Great.
Give me green. Okay, we're going to do this right now. And this is, it's a pie. And the
It is absolutely not a pie. That was just a giant peanut butter cup. Ooh, there's music.
And I want to get a copyright strike. So there's an ad.
Come on, ad. Go away. We get it. There's ads.
So let's go back here. I'm just going to go back here.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's just a big Reese's cup. Oh my God. I'm
getting out of this. I'm getting out of this.
I'm not admonishing them.
Yeah.
For it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just a big Reese's peanut butter cup, which sounds great to me.
Yeah. Well, they're marking as a.
I would be happy to end my Thanksgiving meal with a slice of peanut butter cup, which is a weird sentence to say, but no, I'm on board.
No, well, it gets better. Bo Jones, senior associate brand manager.
Better?
Yeah, it gets better. Associate brand manager at Reese's. He said in a statement, quote, "When you bring it together friends and family for Thanksgiving dinner, no table spread is complete without dessert. At Reese's, we wanted to create a dessert that everyone wants a piece of. You can thank us later." They're saying
they even said that on the box.
Right.
The outside of the box said, "You can thank us later."
Yep. Reese's Thanksgiving pie is the largest peanut butter cup to date.
See, it's a peanut butter cup.
Yep.
Which technically, a Reese's peanut butter cup is arguably a pie. Just a small hand pie.
Right.
Like the Hostess little hand pies. A Reese's peanut butter cup is just a chocolate and peanut butter hand pie.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to argue.
This is true. And social media had comments ranging from people volunteering a taste test to remarking about the pie's 7,680 calorie count.
Okay, now we're into trouble territory.
Mm-hmm. That's why
that's the whole pie, right? That's not just a slice. That's
no,
not per serving.
No, it's the whole pie. The brand notes it contains 48 servings, and here's
48 servings.
48 servings, right? Hershey's made only 3,000 of the pies, which were available on the website for $44.99 each. All the pies sold out within a matter of hours, according to the brand's
Facebook
page.
That it took hours is a shock to me. That's simply an admonishment on their marketing skills.
Right. Now, mind you, I'm just going to pull this up real quick. Mind you, this was posted on Monday. They announced this on Monday, and within that morning or late afternoon, it was sold out.
Yeah, but I mean, Walmart gets 3,000 Xboxes in at $500 a piece, and they're gone before you can click the link. Right. So this comes down to their marketing skills.
Right.
It could have been gone in seconds.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If just so we know, yes, the pie has 7680 calories,
mm-hmm.
but it's only 160 calories per serving. For a dessert, that's not bad.
Right. Well,
now, are they lying about the size of the serving? Of course they are, because in the video you saw them slice it and there were about 8 servings. Right. If you sliced it like that instead of using, I don't know, some sort of a cookie cutter to get peanut butter cup size pieces out of it, in which case just buy peanut butter cups.
Right.
But if you've got 48 servings, just a note, if you got 48 servings and it was $45 per pie, that's less than $1 per serving.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even get a Marie Callender's pie for less than $1 a serving.
Well, I told you, but well, for me, I'm not going near a Reese's pie or cup, and
Because you're
that
afraid to eat the whole thing. I got it.
you know
That would
me
be
all
my
too well.
fear. That I'd like
You know
I'd
me
dip
all too well,
into
Scott.
one slice and I'd be like, oh, okay. All 8,000 calories are mine. I don't know what you guys are having for dessert. I'm eating this whole 9-inch peanut butter cup.
You know me all too well. See? Well, that's why I'm going. That's why for me, pumpkin pie all the way. And that is the tech news for this week for Friday, November
Can we
19th.
can we classify that as tech news?
I think, well, sort of.
Everything else was. So
Everything else was, but this was like kind of
a
like
heavy
I
lean
kind of
towards tech news.
right, right. But I was kind of leaning, towards
The
it's
actual
Thanksgiving,
show.
the actual right, the show, but also I was leaning towards it's upcoming, this coming weekend or this coming Thursday. So I kind of want to, like ring it out with a really good food
Sure.
food thing. I mean, obviously it's tech. I try to, with the finally segment, we try to put in, food related and tech related, but
We've talked
sort of.
about McDonald's ice cream machines. We're fine.
There you go.
Fine.
See? All right. Again, and that is tech news for this week with food. For Friday, November 19th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Show notes from this episode can be found at gncweekly.com. Also, be sure to check out the latest tech news and commentary from geeknewscentral.com. And be sure to tune in Mondays and Thursday evenings at geeknewscentral.com/live for the Geek News Central podcast. And then be sure to watch and tune in at gncweekly.com/live Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So please be sure to like and subscribe to the GNCWIR channel on YouTube. Also, please make sure to click on the bell and always select notifications on so you will not miss the next episode. Also, be sure to share this episode with people you know that can check out the podcast later. Also, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast app. And be sure to tune in to F5 Live Refreshing Technology with Scott and Aaron Pilch, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's at f5live.tv/join us. Or be sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. You have a comment on this week's episode, love to hear your thoughts, especially about your favorite Thanksgiving pie. Reese's or no. We would love to hear them. Head on over to gncweekly.com/connect and connect via email, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Kirk Corliss. I'm usually on it, posting sometimes. Scott is on Twitter at TMABO. Till the next episode of GNC Week in Review. So long.
Ciao.